Another woman doing an Am I the A-hole post. And typically when women do these Am I the A-hole posts, they are simply looking for validation for feeling a normal human emotion. She says, am I the a-hole for wanting to leave my husband after 27 years of marriage? I don't know. What did he do? Let's see. She says, so I want to leave my husband. He has been verbally abusing me and even cheated in the past. Things have calmed down after the last 5 years. We rarely fight, and his verbal abuse towards me has slowed to maybe once a month. But he admitted something to me, which not only has me wanting to run away, I am a little afraid for my life. I have eaten peanuts for my entire life, but 4 years ago, I started having reactions every time I ate it. I would eat a Reese cup or a peanut butter sandwich, and my face would break out in a weird rash, and I would start itching all over. My throat would get scratchy as well. I went to the doctor and they said, yes, people can acquire an allergy at any age. So I stopped eating it and let everyone know it appears I am now allergic to peanuts. This, of course, made life a bit more difficult with eating out. But then one day I ate some fried food that my husband made for the family. I had the worst reaction and my face started to swell and my throat was very itchy. My husband started freaking out and wanted me to go to the emergency department. I decided this reaction wasn't due to any allergy, including peanut allergy. I took 3 Benadryl and dismissed it as something else. Eventually, the reaction settled down and I went to bed. Fast forward to last week when my husband was telling my boys how it's normal for women to lie because we are all drama queens. And then he said, it's okay to call them out on their BS. Just be careful because it can backfire. My husband did not know I could hear him, but I was shocked he was talking like this to our sons. But what he said next made me want to throw up and has me wanting to run from him as soon as possible. He proceeded to tell him he thought I was being overly dramatic at best and straight out lying at worst over my peanut allergy. He said he decided to call her out on her BS and trick her. He said he bought peanut oil and fried all the food in it so he could straight up call me a liar and prove that I was not allergic to peanuts. He said, but she was allergic. He said she had the worst reaction. He then laughed and said, she is a liar anyway, even if she didn't lie about the peanut allergy. I quickly confronted him and he admitted it to me, all the while laughing at me. My boys just sat there, not knowing what to say. If I leave now over something that happened in the past, am I the a-hole? She did an edit. She said, so this is real and it happened 4 years ago. I just found out about it a few days ago. My boys are all grown up at this point, the youngest being 20. I also had no idea he said these kinds of things to them. I don't work and I only get a small allowance of his paycheck to buy the necessary items. I'm trying to get out of this, wondering how with no money. I applied for over 30 jobs this weekend. I hope I can get a job and leave. After reading these comments, I am frightened. I am also frightened to leave. So what it sounds like to me is this woman was a stay-at-home mom. She has no job. She has no money. And this is another reason why I am desperate for women to know and understand why it's important to have job experience, an education, and have the capacity to leave if something like this happens. Because this woman has been, she said, 27 years. This woman has been married for 27 years, and now she's wanting to leave. You never know when that switch might turn. But this woman was saying that he was abusive and a cheater, but his verbal abuse just calmed down to once a month. This is not the type of person you want to grow old with. So if he had been doing this, she should have been creating an exit plan a long time ago. Now to the allergic reaction. This is attempted murder. This is attempted murder, period. What in the world? Why are they doing this? So many examples of these people not even liking women, yet the male community, the peen havers, get so up in arms. Even the pick-me's get so up in arms when people say, getting married just isn't always the highest rung of priorities these days because this. All right, let's get to some of the comments. This person says, leave. Hell, I'd be calling the cops for spousal abuse. This person said, or attempted murder. Jesus effing Christ. This is at the very least poisoning. Please approach the police, OP, and also domestic abuse charities for support. Okay, so Rafaela says, your husband's actions endangered your life and shattered your trust. Leaving isn't about past grievances, it's about protecting yourself now and in the future. You deserve safety and respect. Leave for your well being. Carbonatite says she also needs to go to a doctor and get an EpiPen and not tell her husband about it so he can't hide it. She's having anaphylactic reactions, and those can easily unalive quickly. OP, if something happens before you can get an EpiPen, you should chew a Benadryl and not swallow the pill whole. I think there are also Benadryl films you can melt on your tongue. Both of these result in faster absorption. Then go immediately to the ER. Benadryl can stave off some of the histamine response effects, but it won't be enough to completely stop an anaphylactic reaction. You need to see a doctor ASAP when that happens in case you require additional medication. You have a serious life-threatening allergy. Altruistic AD says he could also be charged with poisoning you because he knew he knew you were allergic. Fuzzy Laugh says, yes, but right now OP needs to contact an abused women's shelter for advice on how to safely leave this abusive marriage. She cannot stay with this horrid man and she needs help to leave. Have him charged by the police and a personal protective order should come after she is safely away. Good luck, OP. No, this creep doesn't deserve one more day of your company, but please get help. Advice and counseling are desperately needed immediately. Not the a-hole, but husband certainly is. And then this person gives the hotline for the national DV hotline. It is www.thehotline.org. And I just wanted people to see that just in case they are in a situation where they need some resources. It is www.thehotline.org. So this hotline will help people find resources and connect with a safety plan and see if there's any local resources. So I'm just putting this up there so it is a little bit more prominent on the page. So jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. And yeah, I just want to remind people that we need to stop second guessing ourselves. Put your survival at the paramount and put it up there. Prioritize your safety versus their feelings and get out. This is not safe. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. We need women to know that it is okay to leave faster. Leave. So this is an Am I the A-hole post, and it's written by a woman. And like I keep saying, women just want validation for feeling normal human emotions. She says, am I the a-hole for canceling our gender reveal party because I know my husband will be unhappy and possibly leave? She's 37, he's 43, and they have a 9-year-old son. She says, my husband and I have a son who's 9 together, and I'm currently pregnant with our second child. My husband and I have already booked the venue for the gender reveal. We'll lose the photographer's deposit and what we spent on decorations. However, my husband is more concerned about the reputation effect as he grew up affluent, has a very high paying job, and also a stake in a family business. However, I can tell that despite us already having a boy who he absolutely adores, they can do no wrong in each other's eyes. My son always had every toy, fun activity, best clothes gifted by his dad. He desperately wants our second child, who we expect to be our last, to be a boy. I went into planning this reveal rationalizing that gender disappointment is okay, but I have come to realize that there is wishing you're having a son, and then there's fixating on not having a daughter, even more than wanting a son, and my husband falls into the second category. We didn't do a gender reveal for our firstborn because my husband kept putting off whether or not he wanted to hear it from the doctor and when. We ended up learning with him ecstatic about having a son less than a month before giving birth. It's not all his fault. He grew up with an older dad who was always controlling towards his mother. Their town at the time was essentially a company town, and his dad threatened her family's jobs. Plus, he made it impossible for her to go about her day without seeing him until she agreed to be with him. My husband also pursued me pretty aggressively, and we had tension over how I at times felt uneasy around him. Yes, we've been in therapy over this. Our marriage had been strained because I was done with him not understanding why my body was still not 100% 3 months after giving birth. He would counter by saying, I turned down Nookie the day after giving birth, but that was him showing he was attracted to me post baby. Now his demons are back. And I'm going to stop right there. I wish women would stop blaming stuff on supposed demons. This is him. He is the demon. He is the demon. Stop blaming it on other stuff. Okay, now his demons are back. We got to a point where he said fine to me going alone to hear the baby's gender without telling him. I found out we're having a girl. I guess I don't have a good poker face by his negative reaction after I got home. He is arguing he doesn't know the baby's gender because I did not explicitly tell him, but 100% he does know. I'd be fine with a reveal where the guests are the ones being surprised, but it's in a week, and with each day my husband grows more withdrawn, and he's not the type who can fake happiness and often tries to leave and pull me away with him when he's really upset. I decided to pull the plug. Again, he's not mad about the money, yet he's angry that we're doing this to our family and friends and what it may say about him. I put my foot down. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. This sounds like a horrific marriage. He sounds like a complete butthole, and I would not want to be in a marriage like this. Like, what is the point? This sounds terrible. Anyways, let's just look at some of the comments. I'm sure that y'all agree that this sounds terrible. It's not over the gender reveal party. It's because he's just a terrible person. This person says, your husband sounds effing awful. This person says, wow, he effing sucks. Cancel the whole thing since it's a stupid waste of time anyways, and now has been ruined completely by his attitude. Was he always a misogynist? I can understand wanting a son as a man, but he already has a son and is pissed that the second child is a girl. Does he have a shitty personality in other aspects of life too? This person, the OP, says he definitely grew up thinking that aggressively pursuing women is okay because in the end, his mom ended up loving her children and growing to love his dad. Instead, his dad was in love with his mom, but went about it wrong. He also aggressively pursued me, inserted himself into my daily life, friends, work, and my brother doesn't like him, which gave him a hard time over I'm marrying your sister whether you like it or not type of way. He commented that he doesn't want our son to ever be in a position where his sister is marrying somebody he dislikes, and that brother-in-law is rude to him about it like he was. He actually apologized afterwards to my brother over this. He did have sexual impulse control, which broke up his first marriage, which he has since apologized for. But his days of being commitment phobic also made him feel a certain way about having a daughter, I feel. But in terms of personality, I have never caught him cheating, and he 100% adores our son. Anything he wants, he gets. He's always around to take our son places, brings him gifts when he comes home from the office, was always doing story time with him, and has endless patience as a father to him. You see how she tried to soften the other stuff that was terrible? You see that in her writing? I don't think this woman is ready to leave. She is looking for anything to grab hold of that's positive about this person. Okay, No says, you deserve much better than this prick. I understand he grew up like this, but that's more of a reason to change because you don't want to repeat that behavior. Does he have any respect towards his mom? But what he may not like what his dad did to him, to his mom, is what he's going to do to you. You need to tell him you want to separate because you don't want your daughter to feel less than with her daddy. Then look for someone when she's older to fill the void. And you don't want your son to be like his dad either. I hope things will get better for you. Then the OP says he loves his mom and his father loves his mom as well. That's all she gathered from that. That's the reason why I said this woman is not ready. You guys go ahead and jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. It's bigger than this gender reveal. It's everything else that she said in this post. Y'all let me know what you think. So men keep rushing to women's comment sections to prove why bears should be chosen over them. This woman, Sarah, she posted just a quick clip just so that men's comments could be highlighted. This man, Christian, says, men can actually wipe women out if it comes to that, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So better humble yourself and enjoy the freedom men gave you. I mean, this is the perfect example of why women keep saying bears are better than men. Okay, so we have another example of why women are team bear. Now, Matthew doesn't use much punctuation, but we are going to try to ascertain, well, we can ascertain that this is a threat. He says, actually, we do, because we can do much worse. As you always say, like why you prefer bear than man. So he says we can do much worse. We can do much worse. They are running to the comments to let women know why they are a threat. Now, this woman posted this on Twitter. She was doing some yoga poses. She said, this was while we were waiting for the bear to move off the trail. No effing way we'd be this chill with a man lingering nearby. So that's just how chill they were, chill enough to where she can get into some warrior poses and do a tree pose. Now, you know, this got the men talking. You know it did. Morton Downey IV says, well, if it was a man lingering nearby, you would be asking for it with those poses. And then Xavier says, asking for what? And Morton says, use your imagination. She's trying to put her leg behind her head. And Xavier's like, oh, scary stretches. Yeah, we're just trying to get Morton to say it. To say it. Asking for what, Morton? And then Sandman, who is a man, jumped into the conversation and he did a quote retweet. And this woman says, I choose the bear. And then the men are huddled over there. And then they're like, thumbs up. He's acting like men are ignoring the conversation, but men are clearly not ignoring the conversation, and neither is Sandman, since he retweeted this quote. He's clearly engaging in conversation with this woman. Rui Deportes Kale says, save this for when she's eventually mauled, and every one of them will still blame men like, if it wasn't for men, we wouldn't have to go to the bears. Night Shift says women are totally not making a bigger deal out of this than what it is, and totally not overdoing this. But the thing is, the fact that men keep jumping in here, like doing the most terrible, most worst case scenarios, giving threats to women, it is terrible. And they're proving the point with every single comment. Nels Freeman says, I hope she has a live stream going when the bear gets hungry and eats her. And then he's just going to have some entertainment. He got his popcorn ready. Okay, so this was posted in the Incel Tears subreddit. It's like incels are saying, don't you get it? The bear will unalive you, B-word. And then the AI image has this man lovingly holding this woman's neck and applying pressure, seemingly wanting to cut off her airways. And it seems like this is what these incelosauruses are wanting to do to women, simply by recognizing and saying aloud that men are violent. Black Hexney says exactly how they're responding. This person says, it's borderline hilarious but scary to see man versus bear posted in incel MGTOW spaces, as they A, always take the bait, and B, confirm everything about the thought exercise. It almost represents a golden trolling item. I will say this. One of my posts got cross-posted. No, this podcast bro took one of my posts and shared it for the other incelosauruses or podcast bros or whatever, red pillar. I don't know his genre, but I know that I had an influx of men coming to my page, and they were certainly not happy with me. So Man Right Chia says, and his comment got held for review. He says, women have the accountability of a child. If men are so bad, stop using technology and societal advantages created by men. If men are bad, stop trying to complain to men or going out of your way to make sure men see your messages. Most of you are not good women and don't deserve good men because you're not good. You play the harlot in your 20s and ignore decent men because of your covetousness. However, when Pookie and Ray Ray leave you strapped with children, you try to blame the same men that you never cared about anyway. If it weren't for men, you wouldn't be safe enough to have an opinion. You'd be waiting for your door to get kicked in and raped by a barbarian. This is the type of comments that I've been getting because someone reposted it on a Red Pillar's YouTube page. That is the kind of messages that I'm getting. But their stuff gets deleted because men are not really allowed in my space. And I don't really want to make sure men see my messages. I post for women just in the public domain, and men meander over to leave crap like this. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.